not in our podcast yet, mate. Only one person streaming at the minute.
And a quick reminder, guys. Like I say, if I go quiet during the World Cups, you know why.
Yeah.
I'll try and put my 2 cents in as best I can, but like I said,
we'll just drag you out of the.
He's going to go quiet, guys, because he's basically Scottish.
Ah.
I didn't care. I literally didn't care about the World Cups. That's why I was.
Well, Scotland had 2 goals at half time against Malta, so it's better than what.
Yeah, and it still finished 2-0, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's that 10-man defence. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Arsenal should start doing it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Footy and Chill podcast. Sorry about the little bit talking at the start, but it's good to hear what we're talking about before we actually go online. So yeah. But tonight, we are joined by Anthony Walker, Brummy Joe, GW13, and Robo Neuer. And according to my screen, it says Matty plays as well, but Matty isn't actually here. Something came up, and unfortunately, he couldn't join us tonight. So yeah, unfortunately, he's not here. But what we're gonna
do that last minute.
Alright, we'll let him off. We know why, so he's let off for this one.
Yeah, Brummy's just being sarcastic because he did that last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Matty's not here unfortunately, but we've still got a few of us in, and tonight we're going to be talking about transfers, international football, which is quite boring. So if you're a England fan, then you could probably mute it at that bit. I don't know, but I would. That's what I would do. We're also going to talk about the weekend's fixtures as well, what's coming up, and the big game, which is, in my opinion, Liverpool and City, which is the early kick-off, and it's on TV.
Oh, yay.
So we can all watch it at the same
Even
time.
me.
Yeah, even you.
Even I can watch it before my game's on.
Well, it depends though, because if you start getting beat, then you'll probably not watch it. It just depends, doesn't it?
It's not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen.
But anyway, starting off with transfers, what did you think about deadline day? Do you reckon that it was fun to watch, or do you reckon it was like a good one compared to old ones, or what do you reckon?
It was better than the last couple, mate, but it weren't overly exciting.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun if you're an Arsenal fan.
Well, it never is though, so that doesn't really count.
When I figured out
Yeah.
how much profit we made from the transfer window, I was like, this doesn't feel right. We made an amazing signing. How do you manage to make profit from that?
Because you sold half of your team.
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, that's
at his
Wenger.
absolute best, that is. Absolutely.
Oh, he's a right risk taker.
Fantastic signing in Lacazette.
Proper risk
And
taker,
then-
isn't he?
Oh, like 50 million's worth of player leaves.
Just think though, if you'd sold Sanchez to City, how much more money you would have had.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that was the weird thing, is that we were still in the market for a 92 million pound winger, which that baffles me. That really does.
The thing
But
is,
weren't-
though, they
you
probably
weren't
wouldn't have
getting
got
him.
wouldn't have
having
got
said
the
all
money.
that, I would say that, to be honest, the transfer window for Arsenal, it may have been seen as bad because they haven't got amazing players in, apart from Lacazette, and Kolasinac should be a good buy, I think.
Yeah.
But the key thing for this year was to try and get rid of some deadwood, and we definitely have done that. So,
What are you trying to say about Ox? Come on.
actually, you say that. Having seen how he's played the last few weeks, and also the back end of last season, I do kind of wonder whether it was probably for the best that he left.
Yeah.
You got good money for him, really, didn't you? So
Because he wouldn't have flourished at Arsenal. I think he wasn't really doing the best job, and I think he needs to go to a club where, and take this nicely, Liverpool fans, they don't quite have the quality going forward that Arsenal have got. So
Ooh, can I argue with this?
they haven't.
Can I argue with this? Are you serious? Wait a minute. What was the score last week? What was the score last week?
That's because we're rubbish at the back. That's nothing to do with quality.
Yeah, well, if you're that good going forward,
Even Huddersfield would have beaten us 4-0 that day.
We've got that bad a defence. Why didn't you score past us?
No, I said Arsenal have got a bad defence. I didn't mean Liverpool.
Yeah.
No, we have. We've got an awful defence.
Because they didn't have a shot, that's
We
why.
played well, definitely. But I do think overall, in terms of the wide positions especially, we've got players like Ozil, Sanchez. For some reason, Lacazette wants to is being told to play out wide now, so that's him as well. And we've got Walcott. We could easily have got rid of him as well. So you're thinking about, especially in the formation we've got now, the wingers aren't really that far wide anymore because they want wing backs. So it's, whereas I think at Liverpool they're not playing that formation. They're doing a 4-3-3 pretty much. Sometimes a 4-2-3-1, and that fits perfectly for Oxlade-Chamberlain. So why wouldn't he go there? The only thing I would say is, fast forward 12 months, what if Liverpool don't finish in the top 4? Now, I know that's a big if right now, but that could happen because it's very, very competitive at the top. What if that happens, Klopp gets sacked, and then Chamberlain's basically left with a Liverpool team that's basically trying to grapple its way back into the top 4 and exactly the same place they were a few years ago?
I'm not sure that'll happen, to be honest, but I know what you mean.
Never know. Well,
I'm with you, Jay. I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
No, I do get the points, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Because basically the same thing has happened to Arsenal this year, in that they've been in the Champions League for years and everything's been hunky-dory and really fine. But now, as soon as they've been challenged with not having Champions League football, team players are starting to kind of think, oh, is this the best place to be?
Yeah.
So,
but I could see this happening a mile off, though. Really, like I don't know. I just love the fact
that you were saying all that, Rob. I just love the fact that you were saying all that, and Jay was like, "Insert Liverpool 4-0."
Yeah. Game setting match.
Can't base it all off one game, though. I'm talking about holes. I'm talking about like months here. And like since Oxlade-Chamberlain, he burst on the scene about, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago now? Came in 2012, I think, and he was back then a revelation, but it was very similar to Wilshere when he was so young and brilliant with the ball, and thinking, he can do really, really well if he improves. That's a big if, and I have not seen improvement. I really haven't. He's basically almost the same player.
To Arsenal's coaching staff.
Well, I tell you what, if he goes to Liverpool and improves, fair play. But usually the improvement comes from the individual. Doesn't necessarily come from the coaching or whatever.
But the coaching's there to help, though, so it should have.
Yeah, as the coach, mate, the coaches should be the ones who are pushing him, helping him learn new things, telling him where he needs to improve. They're not doing that.
I believe it's called development.
Yeah.
He is a clever player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking more about the technique that he's got with the ball. That's his biggest problem.
Well, that can be worked on by coaching.
I think that's his big. It definitely is his biggest problem. Though. We've seen it with England, like. Obviously, recently with these games, like some of the decisions he made was crazy. Like you're just thinking what you're doing. Like you need to get your head up and look about. Don't just run at goal and hope for the best.
Which I wouldn't expect that, because I have sometimes seen him make the right decisions. I think the problem is recently that sometimes doesn't happen often enough.
It's the consistency of making the right decision.
Yeah.
But
he is still young.
That
though.
could come. Yeah,
he's still
only
really
what,
young.
23, is he?
Yeah.
He's 23. So we should see him at his best in a few years' time, I think. But I think his best is, I don't think it's worth 35 million. So I think Arsenal have done very, very well with the business. That's as much as they possibly could have got for him. And we have chance now in January possibly to get a new player in as well. So he says he's going to go back in for Lamar. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think he'll leave.
That transfer is not going to go through.
Thing is, we're actually in for him as well, aren't we? So.
Well, exactly, yeah. Which I don't believe. Can you understand that either? Because why would you buy Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's a winger himself? You've got Mane, you've got Salah now.
Yeah.
Why do you need Lamar?
Who knows? And we've still got Woodburn and Trent Alexander.
What's he trying to do? Just buy other players? I'll tell you what he's trying to do. He's trying to do a Chelsea and basically buy everyone so that no one else can buy them.
But to be fair,
Chelsea, why not?
like I know that, like personally, if I did buy him, if I was Klopp and I bought Lamar, I would probably bench him. Like even though that he is really good, like he's very, very good. But I just think that Mane and Salah's working really well at the minute.
For 92 million though.
I think that he definitely is a player though what you can bring on during a game and turn a game around. Yeah. Definitely. Like he could come on and smash a goal in straight away.
Would you buy someone for 92 million and then bench him?
No.
No, of course not.
No, but
so Liverpool won't get him.
Rotation, mate, would probably be. Yeah. But did Lamar come out saying he wanted to come to us? So that means he knows there's competition there with Mane, Salah, and now Ox. He's probably wanting to get that competition and knows he's got to fight for that place, which is great for us.
Yeah, you just got to be very, very careful that you don't. I think there's a very good case for consistent 11s in the last few years. Leicester won the league with consistent 11s. Chelsea won the league with a very consistent 11 last year. I do think that the time of whether you can just like switch players in and out, in and out, in and out, and expect not to disrupt the team, it's kind of going a little bit because other teams have got less things to think about.
The difference with the last 2 years with Chelsea and Leicester winning it is they didn't have European football. So you've got European competition, you've got the 2 domestic cups as well if you want to go far in them, as well as the league. That's 40, 50, 60 games. That's a lot of games for just 11 players. They would be able to do it.
Should we compare it to Man United then and think that team that's played those first 3 games, is that realistically going to change much between the end of the season if they don't get injuries and suspensions?
No.
There you
go.
No,
it won't change much, but will they still be up there at the end of the season?
I think the only change will be Lindelof come in.
Yeah.
And it, depending on how good he does,
much.
could
think,
kick
do you guys think he was a worthwhile signing?
I think he looks decent. I think he's a pretty good player. Like I've seen him play at Benfica and stuff, and I think he's a pretty decent player. The thing is, though, there's a big difference between playing at Benfica and playing in the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely is.
Did he get dropped straight away due to
defensively?
No.
Did he get dropped straight away due to form? Apparently, like in the very first game for Man U.
I'm not sure. I'm sure someone told me that he was injured.
It sounds like a similar situation to Mkhitaryan when he came last year. Remember he came and everyone was like, why is he not playing him? Why is he not playing him? For
trying to get him used to it, probably. Get used to the pace and the physicality.
Yeah,
and it might also explain why Wenger didn't play Lacazette and why he didn't play Kolasinac against Liverpool. Obviously, again, this is going back on old ground, but this kind of integrating into a new league and all that kind of thing, it does have an effect. Obviously,
but the thing is, though, how are you meant to get used to the league if you're on the bench? I've never understood that.
I think being able to see it from the bench is helpful.
See it,
but there's a difference between watching it and doing
it as well.
Yeah, I think who was it? Was it Henry? Was it Burke? I can't remember. One of the classic Arsenal players. When he first came, he was told he was on the bench, and he was like, "What? But I'm the star player. Like, well, how can you bench me?" And he's like, "Well, no. You need to sit there and watch what's going on." This is Wenger talking to him, and he ended up learning loads from just watching one game. I think
it was Henry when Henry came, because he was a winger at first, wasn't he?
He was.
I think he came over when Wright, wasn't he? Wright still the striker, and he was told to watch Wright and learn off him.
I think that double team, and then the year afterwards, when Henry came, there was a brilliant team, but Henry probably wouldn't have worked in that system. They had to change it quite radically.
Definitely.
But then when he was ready, obviously, and he burst on the scene really quickly. So.
Right, moving on. Who do you think was the best bargain in the Premier League? In terms of, and I'm not talking about like massive, huge names. I just mean like compared to like money-wise, like bargain-wise. Who do you think's the best?
What, with their form so far, you mean?
Yeah.
For me, probably Salah, Liverpool.
Yeah.
I know everyone's going to say that's me being biased, but his form in the first 5 games of the season, including the European, he's been really good. He's probably been our best player. He got our Player of the Month, and I'd say, coming in from Roma, look how he did at Chelsea. He didn't get a chance. Everyone slated him, said he was crap. He got through out to Italy. He's come back and he's shown he's a Premier League player. He can perform at that level, and for the money, it was 36 million, but in today's prices, that's peanuts. Look at some of the players who are getting bought.
You bought Mane for 35, was it 35, 36 million?
Yeah. How much was? Sorry, I didn't hear that bit. How much was Salah? I remember it was.
Salah was 36.
Wow, that's the same as Chamberlain. Pretty much. That's embarrassing. I would easily. That's
what I mean. You're saying how bad Ox was earlier, and we bought Salah for the same amount. So that's got to be a bargain.
It is a bargain. I actually, there's one interesting thing I saw on the BBC website today. and they had like I don't know how they calculated, but they had kind of some formula to calculate the expected value of certain players, and they put those values against the actual values paid. And Salah was in terms of compared to the expected price, was the biggest saving of anyone in the world in this transfer window. Something like 20 million. Yeah. So I would definitely say for 34 million, that could be a really good signing.
I'm going to go with a different player. Don't get me wrong, I do like Salah, and I think he has played really, really well, and he's definitely a bargain, definitely. But I'm just going to go with a different player just for the fact that there's no point in sitting seeing the same as what someone else is. I'm going to say a weird one and a bit of a random one. I'm going to say Chris Wood from Leeds for Burnley, because I think that it's quite hard for Burnley to bring in players in the first place, with the fact that everyone's like kind of tipping them to get relegated and stuff like that, and obviously they sold like one of the main players, and Andre Gray as well, to Watford for 18 million. So with them being a small club, not having a lot of money, they sold Andre Gray to Watford for 18 million, brought in Chris Wood for 15 million from Leeds, and he's younger than Andre Gray, and I think he's definitely got, like, if you watch him, I think he reminds me a lot of Harry Kane. And I don't know why, but I just think he's a very similar player, like the way he plays and his style of play. I think it will really work for him, and I think he'll do really well at Burnley. I really do. I think it's like, I think he's been like overdue for going up a league for a while. He's been in the Championship for quite a while, and he's been overdue to like move up in a league, and I think that he definitely deserves it, and I really hope he does well. I really do.
Yeah, I watched him.
I'll go with comments on that one.
Yeah, I watched them first game of the season in the Championship against Bolton. Scored 2 goals, best player on the pitch by a mile. Hold up play, absolutely brilliant. He's got a brilliant footballing brain. He spots his teammates. He knows where they are. He doesn't even have to look. He knows where they are. He's passing there. He scored 2 great goals, and definitely, as Crumpet said, should have been in the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. I think he was hoping Leeds would do it, but as the ownership in the past few years has been a bit shit, that's what's happened to them. And but I'm happy for him being at Burnley. I think he will be a big hit there, and I think he'll definitely get the goals that will keep them up.
Yeah. I went a different route with that one, Crumpets. You're saying about the best buys. I actually thought the best coup for a player to go to a club came from a loan perspective. Me.
Yeah.
At least.
I know what you're going to say.
And that was Swansea.
Yeah.
Renato Sanchez.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, though, everyone's saying, oh, blah, 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 like, how the hell did Swansea get him? He used to be his assistant. The manager used to be his assistant, so obviously...
He's best friends with the Bayern Munich manager as well.
That all about who
there's a trust there.
Huge coup for the club. Yes, the manager has connections with the Bayern Munich manager as well, like you say, assistant, best mates, whatever. But for the club's perspective, that's fucking big.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking big on that.
The thing is, though, right, they got rid of Sigurdsson, right, which for me, I think Sigurdsson has been way too good for Swansea. Like,
was overvalued as well. They got a hell of a lot of money for him.
Yeah, it was like 45 million or something, wasn't it? 45 million?
Yeah, they wanted 50 originally, but
Sanchez,
45 million, I'd take it.
Sanchez is a really good player, but he's not going to get goals like what Sigurdsson would. He's not going to have that effect like Sigurdsson would.
Yeah.
Any Swansea players play FIFA, right? You're gonna have fun playing with him.
I'm waiting for all of the Swansea career modes going on FIFA 18 because that's what's going to happen.
It's going to be brilliant in Ultimate Team because you can get a Premier League team now with Renato Sanchez.
Oh my god!
It's like a wet dream for FIFA players.
And he's OP as hell. Like Crumpet says, play him in the career mode, develop him as best you can. Yeah.
I think there's another one that you guys have missed. It's another Liverpool player which I find really annoying, which is Andy Robertson from Hull for 10 million.
Did you see his goal at the weekend for Scotland?
I'm not just saying that because he scored a good goal for Scotland, but like he's been playing really, really well. He was playing really well for Hull last year.
Yeah, he was.
And he's a properly pacey fullback, and you know what? he actually defends better than Moreno. But that isn't really
I
saying
could,
much.
I could defend better. Yeah. I think we all could, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. So they finally got themselves a left back who isn't as slow as James Milner and who can defend better than Moreno, and they've only paid 10 million for him. That's not bad.
Yeah,
Considering
that's
the
a
kind
brilliant deal.
you could have gone for like Alex. What's his name? The guy at Juventus.
Chamberlain.
Oh, what a left. Actually, you say that. Wenger played him at left back.
Well, Wenger would put him in goal. So.
But, I'll watch Klopp play him at left back now next game. That's going to be hilarious against Man City. Oh dear. But no, it's who's that guy who plays left wing back? Alexandro. Is that
Sandro,
that's the yeah. You could have gone for him, but he'll be at least 50 or 60 million on the par with some of the. And you think about all the buys that Man City have done. Mendy, 50 million. Danilo, 26 million. Let's look, Kyle Walker, 50 million. Like that's insane money.
Plus, Robertson in a couple of years will be classed as a homegrown English player.
Yeah. And how young is he as well?
He's 22, I believe.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
There you go. That's perfect.
That's what I mean. I actually picked him a few years ago, saying he should come to Liverpool when he was in Scotland still. It was Hearts, wasn't it? He was at. Remember rightly, before he moved to Hull, and he was doing the business up there. Hull got him, but it was like we should have bought him. And
but in fairness, would he have got in the team back then?
I would have put him ahead of Moreno anyway.
Really? Wow.
Well, let's face it, Liverpool hasn't had a decent left back since John Onorisa have them really. In my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're talking about an Andy Robertson who would have been like 20, so
yeah, I rated him that highly back then, mate. To be honest.
Wow.
I'm surprised he hasn't got the start so far.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think again, it's a trust issue, really, isn't it? Is thinking about Klopp knows, he knows all the players that's played there in the first 11 before. So
yeah.
He might have seen Andy Robertson. He probably has been scouting him for a while. But I don't think that he'll have total confidence in putting straight into the first 11 just yet.
I think it's more an issue. I said this in my pre-game one a few weeks ago. Playing two young fullbacks in the Premier League at the same time, because at the moment Klein's out for another 3 months.
Yeah,
so we've either got Alexander Arnold or Gomez playing right back. He doesn't want to risk having another young, inexperienced sort of. I know he's played 2 years in the Premier League, but he's still young, and playing two of them, I don't think it's a good idea. To be honest,
just looked there, and he come from Dundee United. That's where he come from.
Was it Dundee? Was it?
Yeah. There's a lot of good players come through Dundee United, though, isn't there?
Yeah, but I was being like.
So who do you reckon's the biggest flop? Who do you reckon's going to be the biggest flop? Because obviously we don't know yet.
I'd love to say Rudy, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm just looking here with Wilfred Boney. Well,
if you actually see,
he was great the first time around before he moved to City. Will he come back? All difference now. So
have you seen he's actually suing the club and his former agents as well?
Yeah,
for $8 million.
It's more the agent.
Yeah.
The club have been absolved a lot of blame. The only reason they're being involved in this is because they were involved in the first place.
Yeah, because they paid the agents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but that's got to be a little bit awkward.
I think there's Boney's probably the goal scorer that they've not really had a lot of the last few years. I think they've
it's
really
a good move for them.
They lost Boney.
Oh, it's like they've lost Llorente, so
yeah, exactly.
It's a great move for them. Great move.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, can he still do it? That's the thing, because he hasn't played a lot, has he? For a long time.
He's had 2 years of rest. He's all right.
Just look at here, Ravel Morrison. Anybody West Ham listening to this?
He was on trial at us for a few months.
He's been on trial at everyone, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he never does anything anyway.
He's going to Atlas. Is it Atlas FC in Mexico?
Yeah.
He's been in Italy, hasn't he, for the last year?
He's been in Italy, playing for Lazio. Now he's in Mexico.
Yeah, he was the whole of pre-season, like a good 2 months. He was on trial with us. Played every single pre-season friendly. We thought, we're going to sign him, and then Harry Redknapp goes, "We'll only pay you $3,000 a week, no more."
That's Harry being Harry.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing. Instead of being crazy, we just the players who don't deserve it.
Well, we offered 90k to Jack Wilshere. So.
Well, you could have done it on a pleasure play and you wouldn't have to pay him.
Anybody heard of Alexander? Is it Dragovic? Just signed for Leicester on loan.
Dragovic.
Yeah.
From Bayer. Is it Bayer Leverkusen he's from? Something?
Yeah.
They needed another centre-back.
Some say they brought him in to replace Drinkwater.
Oh.
Yeah. Defensive midfield.
Oh, is it? Well, I still need a centre-back then. What's going on?
I don't think...
He actually is a centre-back though.
He's a centre-back, but he brought him for the
legs. He's not got the legs of Drinkwater. If it's the guy, I think
he hasn't got the talent either.
They were bringing in another midfielder to replace Drinkwater, weren't they?
I thought it was him.
Well, they were trying to bring Adrian Silva in, but I think it's fell through. Fell through, didn't it? So that's not.
It's a lot of pressure on was it Kylian Mbappe as well? Or moved from Monaco to friggin' PSG. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
although he does seem to have this kind of attitude about him that he really doesn't care. He really doesn't.
He's got that sort of Ronaldo sort of attitude, hasn't he?
But I think we've yet to see him at a time when things aren't going well.
Yeah,
so that will happen at some point. He will go through a spell where he doesn't score for like 10 games or something.
It reminds me of a young Henry.
Yeah,
because Henry had that like.
You are not the first person to say that, and you will not be the last.
Yeah,
let's wait and see.
No, I don't mean playing wise. Like obviously playing wise he does as well, but I mean mentality wise and personality. Yeah, he's got that like edge about him. And Henry had it, but Henry deserved it because he was awesome.
Yeah, he earned that really. I think. You can't just kind of come in one season, have that, and then have it.
But thing is, he's got that similar sort of thing with Henry, of winning the Ligue 1 with Monaco as a teenager as well.
Yeah.
They've got that sort of similar thing. They play in the same sort of style as well, so everyone's got to say he's the new Henry. But
I'm going to go with flop-wise. I'm going to go with Joe Hart. Absolute obvious one.
That name
that was my one.
How the hell West Ham think that Joe Hart is better than that Adrian who they've got?
What is it? Three games, 10 goals conceded?
Yeah. The goal yesterday was
the best goalkeeper for England.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
How the hell he's playing at Butland start, I have no idea.
I know.
Well, Pickford got injured and he weren't there, but I would throw Pickford in as well. I would see either Butland or Pickford, any one of them.
Pickford well ahead of him.
Yeah.
Well ahead of him.
It's like that goal what we conceded against Slovakia. It was straight at him, and it went under his arm. Like what the hell?
Yeah. It was.
I'd even put Heaton ahead of him as well, probably. Just there.
Randolph. I think Randolph's look back on it now, joining us. I think Randolph's looked at it and think, I'm glad I moved.
To be honest, I'd drag like David Seaman out of retirement, and he'd probably be better than Joe Hart. Like,
hey, go put fucking Mourinho in goal. Did anyone see that for the Grenfell?
Oh yeah,
oh my god!
He came up for James. That was hilarious to see. Mate.
There was actually a video. Of him. I think it was when he was Inter manager, I believe. They went to Real Madrid. It was one of them when he was in goal as well in training.
Yeah. Well, his dad was a pro goalie, weren't he? So.
Yeah, and his dad was a goalkeeper as well. Guess it runs in the family.
I wonder if Joe Hart's dad was a goalie.
Yeah, stick to your management, Mourinho. Just stick to management.
What do you reckon, Joe? Biggest flop in the Premier League?
Well, I'd probably have to agree with you with Hart. I mean, I know we can't be saying the same players every time, but I can't see anyone. How much did they pay anything for him?
Well, they'll paid a loan fee. They'll have paid a loan fee. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a 4 mil, something like that. Loan
a couple
fee.
of million or something.
I don't think there's been any like major, ones that stand out other than him really for me. I don't know if Naki Wells is going to be able to do it in the Premier League. I feel like it's a bad move for him personally. I don't see him getting in that team too easily. I mean, if Huddersfield don't want him either, Why are Burnley signing him for me?
I don't understand why Huddersfield don't want him.
I think it's more because because he's injured. I think that's a big
Injury prone.
But they reckon that he was coming back soon, though, didn't they? They reckon that he was going to be back within the next couple of weeks. According to what I read. So they should want him.
Could that be a mistake? I was going to say, could that be a mistake for Huddersfield? I guess we'll find that out at the end of the season.
Probably not, because they've got that
how much
Mooney.
How much did they pay for him? That's the thing.
I think it was 5 million.
Yeah. Well, he isn't a proven Premier League scorer. So, from that point of view, I wouldn't really think it's a good enough reason to actually keep him.
Guess he'd be back up to Woods then, won't he?
And in fairness, last season he wasn't amazing for Huddersfield either. He scored a few goals, but he wasn't top scorer. So
he pretty much spent a lot of time injured as well, didn't
he? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Huddersfield are probably thinking, yeah, we'll finish that, move on. We've got other strikers anyway. I think we've got like 3 or 4 other strikers, so shouldn't be a problem.
Like we were, as I say, we were linked with everyone, but for a time we were linked with him, and I was looking at his record, and I wasn't that impressed by it because, as a player, I thought he was doing a lot better than he was. I think he only got 10, 12 goals maybe, but I thought he was one of these 20-goal a season strikers.
Here's an interesting one. On my chat, we've got Gabriel who's saying Rudiger to Chelsea as a flop.
I ain't seen enough of him yet for me.
I think he's good. I think he's really
good.
The
announcement was Tim Potter. Did I just say It's terrible.
I think he'll be good, mate. I honestly do. Let's face it, who are they going to put in there instead of him?
I do think that Rudiger. I saw him play the most recent game, and I think they played the last 2 or the last one. I can't remember. But both times he looked really good when the ball was put over the top of his head, and they just kind of chasing people and chasing the ball back and all that. Brilliant. He's really, really fast, very strong. What he does struggle with, I think, is the set pieces and trying to kind of command that box and tell people where to go.
But that's probably just because he's not used to the league, though. That's all that'll be.
Oh yeah, that might be it as well. But that's no excuse. Like when you're bringing in a £35 million player, you expect him to be able to do the job pretty much straight away. So, especially at a club like Chelsea, they can't afford to be bringing in players he is a first-team player. They haven't got 3 better centre-backs than him. So if they've brought him in and he's not ready to do that, that's their fault. I would criticise Arsenal just as much for this kind of thing. So,
of course you would.
So it's because we've been prone to that kind of problem before. We've brought in. I remember when Koscielny first came into Arsenal, he was not ready. He was so not ready, and he was just blown away by the physicality of the league. He had to take like 2 years to really build up that physicality.
What team did Koscielny come from? Was it his French team?
Yeah, I think it was like Montpellier or someone. So, or Nice. Can't remember exactly, but it was a French team, and he found it a little bit of a shock. Rudiger, wasn't he at the Italian league? Am I right?
Roma.
I think so. Yeah.
Roma. Yeah. So. Yeah. He should be a bit more. I'm surprised, if I'm honest, when I saw that and I saw commentators picking up on his lack of marking and awareness in the box. I was very surprised because I thought he'd be good at that. But yeah.
But he played in the German league, didn't he? He played in the German league before he went to Italy.
Yeah.
And the German, I think the German league's pretty tough. I think it's a pretty rough league compared to some European leagues. Like it's not compared to the Premiership, but it's more rough than some.
Another good one for me, I think, is when Spurs got rid of Kyle Walker. I thought, here we go, the dismantling the squad begins. But Serge Aurier for 23 million, quite a good replacement, I think, and they've made a good bit of money as well. Good bit of business, I think.
I'm not sure.
I think really this mentality will let him down. Like he's a bit of a dick, isn't he?
This is kind of the problem. There's a very good reason. I think there's a very good reason why plenty of clubs have not gone for him, but they've scouted him for years. Arsenal were linked with him 5 years ago. Something stupid. So why would Arsenal not go for him? Is it because of money? No. We've had the money for a while, and we've had problems at that position for a while now. But he's just not Arsene Wenger's cup of tea. And I think if you're not Arsene Wenger's cup of tea, then
you're
going to struggle in quite a lot of teams, I think. Or you're going to have to be willing to be put down by a Conte, or in this case, the Pochettino. He's really going to have to get into him and sort him out.
He's a good manager, Pochettino. If there's one manager that could do it, I think it would probably be him.
I love the fact that Watercard signed his best mate, his name Newton, signed his best mate Tim Krul on loan.
Love fest going on, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'll just go and sign my best mate Tim Krul from on loan.
I'm not going to say nothing about that because I'll probably get slated if I see anything about Tim Krul.
Oh god.
Here's a question I'm going to throw at you since we're talking about flops and everything. You reckon Zlatan will be a flop? Eventually returns.
I don't know. It depends what you mean by flop. Like,
I don't think that much is.
I mean, last year we were calling him a flop. We were questioning whether or not he can do this. You know, he could be in the Premier League and be the guy he was before he came to the Premier League, and then he scores all the goals and shuts everybody up and everything. Do you think he'll be able to do it this season when he comes back?
No, because
obviously he's out injured at the moment.
He won't get in the starting 11.
And the pressure's not on him too either.
I think it'll work opposite way.
Lukaku and Rashford will be the main line.
With Lukaku being in there now, he's got more to play for. He needs to prove himself more because obviously if he doesn't, he's not going to get games. So I reckon it might work in a positive way for him, and I think he will do well.
It won't necessarily be a bad thing for United, regardless, because they brought in a brilliant player. But I do think that if you're setting the bar at the standards that he set last season, I would argue that's going to be very, very difficult because A, he's got less time to do that. He's only going to be playing from January. B, he's got so much more competition than he had last year. Last year, his best competition was Martial and Rashford was okay, but did he only turn up like halfway through the season? I seem to remember. He really kind of burst on the scene when they were playing these Europa League games.
He came the year before, and then start of last season he went great, Rashford, and then bang, started.
He had those two as real kind of. But even that wasn't really competition because they needed a big man up front, and they had to resort to Fellaini a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Whereas now they've got Lukaku. I don't really think if he wasn't injured, Mourinho wouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a shame Everton didn't go for a big money striker signing to replace Lukaku, man.
They were searching, they just did not find the one they wanted.
They couldn't get anyone.
I think it's better waiting though than blowing money. I think.
Yeah.
Especially how much they've spent so far as well. They've spent a lot on that.
That's what I mean. They've got a good, solid basis to their side now. Yeah, they're missing that main key focal point. But
I think Koeman might have the balls to try Sigurdsson as a striker.
Maybe just off the striker, but not as the main man.
And I was going to say, he spent 9 million on a Hadjic split striker.
Yeah.
There was that Sandro Ramirez from Malaga as well.
He's meant to be really good. I've never seen him. He's meant to be decent.
He is a very, very good player. He's a very, very good player. Whether he's able to put up with the physicality of the Premier League is another matter because
that's what I mean. It could take him a year to get used to it.
In Spain, where the kind of goals he was scoring were the kind of goals that were instinctive. They were one-touch finishes and all that kind of stuff. You do need that kind of player, but he's not the kind of guy who will hold the ball up for you and link the play around you. That's not going to happen with him.
I think the only thing that I loved about him going was the fact that Newcastle wanted him and Everton got him. That was probably the best part of it.
Do you think this could be a flop for Leicester as well? Manchester United's bench warmer, Iheanacho, going there for... Manchester City's Iheanacho going there for 25.
I don't reckon. I think it's good. It's good. It's a good value on both sides. Like they've got a good bit of money for him, and there's a good bit of potential with him. And if he does come good, that'll be a bargain, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure City will have put some clause to sell on or something like that.
Yeah, buy back or something.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing that now. Have you noticed? Everyone's doing a buy back clause now.
Oh
yeah.
I was going to say something about Newcastle, but then I don't know half the players. I've never heard of half of the players they bought.
But Newcastle, neither did Benitez as well. He just got...
Benitez.
It's like put names in a hat and just pick them out and just say, yeah, he'll do. He's cheap. that'll do.
It worked for us in 2005, mate. Champions League.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between Liverpool and Newcastle, mate.
What about
Very
it?
big difference.
Is it Rodriguez who's gone to Stoke from PSG
Yeah,
on loan?
Yeah,
that's a good signing.
that is a great.
That's a very
Another
very
one who
good-
Newcastle wanted anyway.
Yeah,
Have you noticed the theme yet, people? Have you noticed
is this the Let's Diss Newcastle by any chance?
I'm not sour that in
I
the
think-
Premier League, I'm not
I
sour.
think it's fair to say Newcastle haven't had the best window, have they? Really?
Nah, Rafa's pissed off at that, isn't he?
Yeah.
He'll be gone
Tammy
by
Abraham going
New Year.
to
What-
Swansea on loan. That might be a mistake. For him, like.
What was he really expecting? Was he
Nah.
really expecting loads of money to come in, like a kind of Man City style, like
Well, he
500
got-
million, just go and spend it? It's
I know
fine.
quite a bit about this
Yeah.
due to the fact that I know a lot of Newcastle fans. Apparently, he got told by Mike Ashley that he would be given between 70 to 100 million to spend, and he got given 35 or something. So there's a big difference.
That's a huge difference. But I just can't believe that Ashley said that. Why would he say that?
Because he's an arsehole, mate.
Yeah, well, like,
Yo,
here's a grave, dig yourself a hole and jump in. Like that's exactly what he's just done there. If he's
Look.
promised him 70 million,
Yeah.
and then he's not come up with that.
It's not the first time Ashley's done.
Yeah,
something
look at
like
every
that.
manager they've had since he took over. He's done it with every single one. of
yo,
them,
I didn't know Gareth Barry went to West Brom for $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to play, is he?
Mop.
Well, considering they signed that Polish dude from
Well,
Paris
big-
Saint-Germain, he's
Crutch
definitely
is
not
the
going
poor
to.
guy.
He'll be playing because Fletcher's gone to Stoke, hasn't
Ah, it's true. Yeah, he went to Stoke. He went to Stoke on a free. So, I guess that could be his replacement. That was
he?
that.
Speaking of West Brom, mate, my flop for the season is going to be J Rod.
Well, he scored the
15
other day.
million. Yeah, I know he scored the other day, mate, but I can't see him doing it, mate. He's been out. He was out for what, 18 months. I'm just not impressed with him so far this season when I've seen him.
He is coming, isn't he coming back from a really, really long injury?
Yeah. 18 months out he was. So.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect the
I-
best of him for a year.
Yeah, but
Personally.
I still don't think he'll get back to anywhere near he was.
The
But
thing
that
is
is
for West Brom though,
15
like no
million.
one's expecting him to win the league or anything. So as long as he gets the odd goal here
Well,
and there.
15 million for West Brom. That's a lot
Great
of money.
bargain. That's a brilliant.
West Ham don't buckle their ideas up. That Chicharito could be a flop for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Arsenal, this is how good a business is that is, right? If Arsenal managed to get 15 million for Wilshere, that is brilliant business. So the fact you managed to get 15 million for Rodriguez is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's great business for
Yeah, good
Southampton.
shout.
Not
Yeah.
so good for West Brom, in my opinion.
No. Yeah, quite. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one though.
Yeah.
Watford
but-
did good business as well.
Watford's got quite a bit of money now though, haven't they?
I was going to say, they did good
Yeah.
business too.
Yeah.
Gotta give them.
And they've got that link with all the Italian teams as well, so they're just bringing in
Yeah.
a ton of Italian players.
That's
Will Hughes would be a good
their
buy.
best buy out of this here, their best buy, in my opinion, was Will Hughes. Why isn't he? How did he never get played? I think he's really good. Him.
Because he's young.
He's
He's
one
been
for
good
the
at the
future for that,
championship.
I'm not so keen on Chalobah. Like, I mean, considering he was a loanee once up here.
Chalobah's could be better than Will Hughes. I think Chalobah's really good.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
just
he's
needs
good.
game time.
Starting ahead of Hughes anyway.
Ah,
Hughes is bench.
that'll probably be competition then for this.
I was
season,
going to say
won't
that'd
it?
be a good, that'd be a good fight.
It's good that they're both very young as well, so there's going to be like a lot more involved, isn't it? Really, when
Yeah.
they're both quite young and they've got to really show what they can do in well, Chalobah's not in a higher league, but he never gets games for Chelsea, so he might as well be. And Will Hughes obviously come from the Championship. It's going to be very, very competitive that position.
And
For them.
you've got Tom Cleverley as well in the midfield for them. No, but he's
I
more
take Will
experienced.
Hughes any day, thank you.
No, but he's getting the game time with Chalobah at the minute.
Yeah.
It's a competitive team at the moment. You got that winger Richarlison, the Brazilian.
Yeah.
He looks a good player. Actually.
Yeah, he looks really good. I've never even heard of him
Looks
before.
really good. From Fluminense.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Very technical.
Yeah. Well, what Brazilian player isn't really? It's
I've
like a
just
natural
seen-
gift, isn't it?
I'll answer that one. Lucas Leiva.
Yeah, true. I'll give you that one.
I love Lucas for his work. He's not the most gifted.
Yeah.
No.
He does the job though. He does his job.
He does. He does.
Well, he did. He's gone now, but he did.
Yeah,
I'm getting all my
guys-
information here from theguardian.com, this football thing that I've got about the transfers and that. Spurs outlay 88 million, balance 5.7 million.
What, in profit?
Yes, so
Oh, it's because that Walker signing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I mean.
Spent
selling Walker
50
for
million on one defender.
And Vimmer as well to Stoke for 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go then.
The Salt in G as well, in G or whatever he's called, a French team, I think. Clinton in G.
for
All
Rob,
this money coming from pens. It's ridiculous.
yeah, just for Rob, outlay 46 million, balance after sales 21 million. That was for Arsenal.
Yeah. That's not surprising though. That's not surprising. As I said, I did the sums and I was
Could
just.
have been 80 million if you sold Sanchez.
Well, no, we weren't going to sell Sanchez and not bring anyone in. I think that's one thing we should clear up from that. So if you were following transfer deadline day, what was happening was basically Man City, for some reason, decided to come in on the final day and say, right, we can actually bid for him. Great, good job. They came in with 50 million. That was almost immediately rejected. But then Arsenal were happy to carry on negotiating with the knowledge that they could potentially buy Lamar with the money that Sanchez was going to offer. So City came in with a £60 million bid. Arsenal provisionally accepted based on the fact that they would get Lamar. What they didn't expect was Lamar would turn them down, and that meant that Sanchez was stuck there. Lamar's stuck at Monaco, and everyone's really sad. Which I do think it's not really in Arsenal's best interest to keep Sanchez. I've been saying this for a while. They should have got rid of him ages ago. Why Man City decided to wait until the final day to make the bid? I mean, what if you knew he was worth 60 million, bid 60 million on the 1st of July. Don't do it on the 30th of August or whatever it is. It doesn't make sense. But in fairness, they were happy bidding 50 million for Kyle Walker. Like, well, yeah, that's fine. So it's
I'd still say
really
50, 60
balances
million
I read out.
excessive.
Sorry.
50, 60 million excessive for a player with 1 year on his contract, to be honest.
But
Like
City
me.
wanted him.
I know, I'm
Like-
just saying that's excessive.
I think if Arsenal, if I was Arsenal, I would have bit the hand off. The only problem was I think it would have looked so bad if we sold Sanchez and not got a replacement.
Oh, yeah.
And the
yeah.
problem wasn't that the bid came in. It was the problem was there wasn't enough time to get a replacement.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
So Arsenal have stood firm. Fair play. That's not very common in football these days. That people tend to stand firm and say no, we're not selling him. Especially considering he might go for free in about a year's time. Yeah, and in the end, that's not really turned out very well for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And both of them balances that I read out had plus signs, so I'm guessing that's profit.
Yes,
well,
it is. Yeah.
Right, we've talked about transfers for quite a while now, so I think we're going to move on to internationals. I know that being an England fan, it's pretty boring, but
Anthony's going to fall
It's not
asleep
really
now.
that boring. There's a lot of talking point.
Right, I'll
Yeah,
just go to
bad
bed,
ones.
John.
not positive talking points there, mostly.
we're not just
No,
going to
of
talk about
course not.
England,
Never
though. We'll
positive
talk.
with
We'll
England.
talk about others as well. What do you think about the fact that France got a 0-0 draw with Luxembourg?
That is hilarious to see, mate, to be honest. With the squad that
strongest
France
team,
have got,
probably.
mate.
Yeah.
How the hell did they not score past Luxembourg?
Didn't they
It makes us
What
English
happened?
fans happy that someone else is just as bad against shit teams.
Yeah.
If they
Well,
did
don't
France
bet.
batter Netherlands?
Yeah, they battered Netherlands like 3 days beforehand.
It was
How the hell did that
mental.
happen?
Absolutely
Yeah.
mental. It's probably the biggest shock ever in the whole
I know.
history of football.
I mean, England got slated for only beating Malta 4-0, yet France drew 0-0 with Luxembourg.
Well, I remember when England. Who was it who we played? We played San Marino, I think it was, and I think we won 2-0 or something.
Yeah.
And we got slated for that.
Oh no, it was Malta at home, mate. We only beat them 2-0.
Malta away.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Malta at Wembley was 2-0, and then we beat them away 4-0.
Yeah. But this is kind of the thing. I think as long as you win, there's no
It doesn't
complaint.
matter.
There's no complaint. Like goal difference doesn't
Unless
usually make much
unless you're
difference.
English.
Well, points
not
matter in
boring, it
qualifiers,
was.
don't they? So.
You know what
But
I
I
mean?
think this is the other thing with England as well. Although, I think France may fall under the same bracket. with England, every single performance is massively scrutinized to the
It
point
is.
where if you have an even marginally bad game, you're made out to be public enemy number 1, and everyone hates you, which I think is a little harsh considering it's a game against the team.
My job
not
kind of
hard.
helps people do that as well. Seeing how
Well,
I do all the stats.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's blaming on G. It's
You've had a
G's
very
fault.
good week.
I'm one of the causes.
But yeah, with France, I think that was just an incredibly unlucky night. But I think I'm right in saying they are on course to be qualifying anyway.
Oh yeah.
They're on 17 points. Sweden on 16. They do have a couple of big games, but I think they're barely winnable. I'm just looking for them now.
I think France can qualify, can't they, if they win their next 2?
They have to win the next 2, yeah. But I just don't know who they are against.
But to be honest, the team that France has got, they should be smashing that.
They're playing Bulgaria away, and then they're playing Belarus at home. They should win both those games pretty easily.
Yeah, but that's what they probably said about Luxembourg.
Well, yeah, I think there's been more now. Lightning surely can't strike twice with this lot, so I'd be very surprised if they're not there.
Them 2 teams won't have 10 men behind the ball like Luxembourg did.
You never know, they might.
I also wouldn't bank on Sweden winning both their games.
Nah.
Personally.
They've got. I think Sweden have got to play Holland as well.
Sweden's top of the group, isn't they?
No, France
second. All right.
Yeah, Sweden is second.
France,
so
Sweden,
for France to realistically be caught, Sweden have to win both their games. Really,
they've got to play Holland, so it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's like, listen to these match stats, right? I'm going to read out the match stats for the France versus Luxembourg game. 76% possession to France, 24 obviously to Luxembourg. 34 shots to France, 3 shots to Luxembourg. 9 shots on target out of 34 shots for France. 1 shot on target for Luxembourg. That is just 34 shots and 9 shots on. That's worse than Sunderland, that is, and that's saying something. That is
Can I ask something, Trumpets? Was that my stats when I play FIFA?
If you managed to fit 34 shots in a game of FIFA, I'm very impressed.
Pretty much, I have done before, mate.
Oh, right. Flipping it.
Who were you playing, Luxembourg?
Nah, I think it was against you, Trumpets.
Yeah, whatever.
Was he playing as Sunderland?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that explains everything then. That explains everything. But 34 shots with 9 on target with a team like France and with the selection that they picked in that game is ridiculous. That is bad.
I think they hit the woodwork a couple of times as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
If I remember rightly. But, if I remember rightly, so did Luxembourg.
Yeah, they did.
It would have been
But
so
I
funny
think
if they won, though. It would have been better.
It is all about until you get that first goal, the game doesn't change, and that's kind of the problem with a lot of these qualifiers is that you've got to be able to break down these teams who are happy just to sit back and defend, and then you've also got to be willing to be able to take on some of the best, like the Spain and Italy games that we've seen. So it's a really good test, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all, because I think it does provide a really rigorous test of who would actually be the best teams to go into the World Cup. As Europe teams, we do want the best teams to go to the World Cup.
See,
seeing things like this,
I do want the best teams to go to the World Cup, but I think it's good to have like those odd ones in, because the smaller clubs, like the smaller countries.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that's a problem, but I just think like
they've got more to prove, haven't they?
There have been suggestions that we should have a pre-qualifying tournament, and I think results like this mean results like this do prove that is so stupid, and it would ruin a very, very good qualifying system. You know that this is the biggest qualifying tournament in the world for the World Cup. All the other qualifying tournaments are so much smaller, and they actually lose a lot of interest because of that. Really, South America, Brazil have already qualified in South America.
Yeah,
and
they have a stupid
11 points
for that. That is ridiculous.
It's like
they're
10
points
teams
clear
in a group or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All of the teams in South America are in the same group, but they're 11 points clear of, I think it's Colombia who are second, and Argentina are actually almost not quite there yet.
The fourth or fifth, aren't they? Something like that.
I'm sure it's like 10 teams and then 5 go through or something like that. It's something.
No, not quite.
4 go through and 1 goes to playoff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It's still ridiculous though.
It is.
It's like if you're like a small country in South America, you're screwed, aren't you? Really, you're totally screwed because you got no chance in hell.
You guys watched the England game yesterday. Did you hear the amazing stat as well about attendances for the World Cup qualifying?
Yeah, that apparently England's got the highest attendance out of any country.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Did you hear who was second?
Wales.
DR Congo.
Yeah, DR Congo. Yeah.
That's down to Jackson Goma.
They have the highest, the second highest average attendance in the World Cup qualifying for Russia.
Wow. They must be taking a lot of these big teams to some really small stadiums. It's like France playing in a 10,000 seater stadium.
Well, not about the home ones, but France don't fill out the home stadium. It never gets sold out.
Wow.
Which is great because of the prices.
It's probably because they get draws for Luxembourg, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. DR Congo are probably charging 50p to go and watch the game.
Yeah. That's probably why they fill it out.
Yeah.
And I don't think France will be getting any sellouts soon after drawing with Luxembourg. So.
Oh no, probably not.
0-0. A hard fought 0-0 with 34 shots.
Oh yeah.
Someone just put in the chat earlier on, I know I'm going back a little bit here, but someone said, do you think Scotland will qualify for the World Cup?
I hope they freaking don't. And I'm not saying that and I'm not saying that as a disrespect to Scotland. I'm saying that as a disrespect to their manager. I can't stand him.
But I thought you were Scottish.
Fuck you, Strachan.
Wow. That's serious hate. Why do you not like Strachan?
Because he's a Middlesbrough fan. That's all.
Oh.
Exactly, Rob. Yeah, he nearly put us out of business.
I thought he'd done really well for Middlesbrough.
Anyway, yeah, he's
Me. Freaking Captain Manring with ginger hair. He thinks he's army. Fuck off.
But Scotland, I've done pretty well, I think. You got to say, in a group which, let's be honest, they would never be expected to qualify from.
Nah.
Yeah.
I have no problems with Scotland. I just hate that man.
Yeah, we're trying to move. I'm trying to move past the match.
We're moving on now, mate. We're moving on.
Trying to move past the heat.
But they're still if they win their next 2 games, they actually finish second. So
Yeah.
I'd take that.
In second place, the playoffs.
No.
It's almost the
top,
playoffs. It depends.
Top 8 out of the 9 go to the playoffs.
Yeah, so one
It's
team
so
will miss out on the
harsh.
playoffs.
Yeah,
even if they
it's
finish
so
second.
harsh.
Top 8 out of. Yeah, that's
Out of the 9 groups, so the second place in 8 of the 9 groups go through.
that should change. Yeah, top 2. Top 2
Watch
should
Scotland be the one that gets knocked out.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be fucked.
Despite
That
winning.
would be fucked up.
I would love Scotland in a knockout game. That would be awesome for England.
I think we've not seen. That is one thing I think we haven't really seen. We've seen England play Scotland twice, a few times recently. What we haven't seen that's really special is seeing Scotland in a high stakes game
half
and
to
really
win
put
game.
in a good performance.
Yeah.
They haven't really done that for a while because they've been
Even
limited with
in the
players
playoffs, in the playoff game, they didn't look good.
Yeah.
Especially
So-
at Hampden, they did not look good.
Yeah. So I do
Well, they're not
think
doing too bad. The fourth and the joint third really,
they're
apart from
doing
2 goals.
Yeah, in terms
There's
of
only
these-
goal difference. What's keeping them out of
Yeah.
the third spot? 2 goals. That's all it is.
Scotland need
It's not
to
gonna
win.
They've got Slovakia and Slovenia, haven't they? Same as us. Remember rightly?
Yeah.
So they got to beat them.
All the best.
I think they could beat
might do,
Slovenia.
never know.
Do it. Could do it.
They could be, I think they could beat Slovenia, but I think Slovakia will be a tough one.
It's their toughest one.
Well, they give us a run for our money.
Everyone gives us a run for our money.
Yeah, it's because we don't take it serious enough, that's why, because they're all idiots. And that's putting it nice.
What about Wales tonight? They play pretty well.
I didn't watch.
I watched
Ben
that with
Woodburn,
tonight.
absolute legend of Wales already.
Yeah.
I love the song, what they're singing, but I can't see it because it's really bad, but it's really good.
Is it?
Go on.
Nah.
Just
It's
put it on
really bad,
YouTube, it's good. I like it. Why can't we think of cool songs like
Ramsey's
this?
got deflected effort in after Robson Carney's header. Man, that was good. It was a very, very good header. But they were very unlucky not to score earlier. I think they had several good chances. But now Wales, it all kind of comes down to a huge game against the Republic of Ireland on the final match day, probably.
That's going to be a
which is going to be absolutely massive. At the moment,
is that in Wales or is it over in Dublin?
Good question. Fixtures.
I think it'll be a pretty
at
decent
home.
game.
It's at Wales. Yeah, it's in Wales. It'll be at the Cardiff Stadium.
Is it Cardiff or the Millennium?
Oh, it'll be at Cardiff. Why would they go to the Millennium?
Get more fans.
It might have the best atmosphere, but like it doesn't. It never really has as good an atmosphere as Cardiff. Personally, the Cardiff City Stadium.
Well, for that game though, you'd think there'd be 60, 70,000 wanting to watch.
Who do you think they are, Congo?
They've probably got. Oh, they probably don't have as many people in their country as they are Congo. I don't.
Probably not. Well, definitely.
Congo's not that big a country either, mate.
No, but it's.
Yeah, but there's not many houses in Wales, is there? It's just like loads of farms.
More sheep. More sheep than people, really.
Just fill the ground with the sheep, then. God, we're getting so racist. We're getting racist, no.
Just charge the farmers like a pound each sheep.
They just have to do a crossbar challenge, and they know exactly what they need to chant. Them being sheep. Anyway.
I have to be careful because I've got relatives who are Welsh.
I'm so sorry, Welsh people. I used to live in Wales. I love you guys.
What was out of that conversation?
No, you just hate the Scots.
Yeah, it's not Scotland. He doesn't want to know. He's like, yeah, I'm not bad about the Welsh. All right.
I don't hate Scotland. I just hate the Scottish manager. Scotland,
Do you know what?
me
I've
good
got
faith.
something in common with you because I hate a Scottish manager as well.
Yeah?
It's not him though. It's a different one.
I love Scotland because
that's the one.
I love Scotland because they gave me a good wrestling company.
Yeah.
That's how much I love Scotland, because they gave me a great wrestling company. As their national team and their manager, well, that's another issue for them.
Do we all have a manager we hate then? Like, despise? Well, I'd say mine would be Zola, for obvious reasons.
Mine's Sir Alex Ferguson, but we won't go into that.
What's this? What?
Manager who you don't like?
Yeah.
A manager I don't like.
I have to think a little bit about this one, I think.
Yeah, I do as well.
Gianfranco Zola.
I mean, when Fergie was managing, I hated him. But that's because he always beat Arsenal, so it's like...
Do you mean like a one that you don't like because
no.
of
Yeah, here's what...
your team kind of thing? Like involving your team or just in
that's what I was going for. Because I heard
Sam Allardyce.
Alan Pardew.
I hate Sam Allardyce. I was so happy when he got
when he
out
was Bolton manager, yeah.
What?
When he was Bolton manager against Arsenal, he always fucking did.
Well, he earned his corn at Bolton, and then went on doing pretty much exactly the same 50th century football everywhere else.
Yeah, it was good for us. I wish we still had him.
15th century even, not 50th. That would be very futuristic.
Maybe it'll come back in style by then, mate.
But yeah, I didn't like him at all. Long ball tactics, not fun to watch.
Would you believe me if I told you that I used to respect Strachan and like him?
No.
But actually did. And he came up with it.
Mine would be Pardew, who
But he did well.
Definitely.
Because let's face it, he did well at Southampton and Coventry, didn't he?
Yeah.
Gotta give the devil his due.
I think we've gone off on a tangent here. Can we get back to the internationals?
Yeah.
I'd rather go off on the tangents because let's face
We've got more time to get you back.
What we'll do...
By the way,
I've got to say, the Republic of Ireland were downright terrible tonight. I watched them tonight as well, and they were shocking. I mean, at least Wales had they had the excuse of saying it's a difficult game away from home against a team who just defends all the time. But Republic of Ireland had absolutely no cutting edge whatsoever.
What was the final score that they got beat, didn't
They lost. Yeah, they lost 1-0, and they deserved to lose as well. They did not look like somehow Serbia weren't all that great themselves, but at least they had some kind of cutting edge going forward. They looked like a threat.
When you're getting a draw against Georgia, it doesn't look good though, does it really?
Well, yeah, quite. Yeah, I just think that team could be a lot better than it is. But I was looking at them as like,
Strike Force is awful. To be honest, in my opinion.
Why they're still playing some of these players, I'll never know.
Do you know why they got beat for? Because Eden McGeady's injured.
He would improve that team big time.
He improves ours. Well, when we don't play at Leeds or Barnsley, he does.
When you play Randolph in goal, though.
Yeah.
Well, we don't play Randolph in goal. He doesn't play for us.
Brady was terrible. Walters just seems to be there just to hit people. That seems to be his only role.
I do not rate Walters at all.
McLean. Actually, Crumpets, I'd be really interested in your view on McLean, because
I can't stand him.
He was shocking.
I can't stand him. I think he's an absolute idiot.
And I remember a day when people were raving about this guy, thinking he'd be the next best thing for Republic of Ireland. He's been awful.
I never rated him. When he played for us, I didn't like him. I just think that his attitude stinks, and he just needs a smack in the jaw. I think he's an absolute idiot.
I just realised they've got another Long. They've got a Kevin Long and a Shane. Probably we're better off with Kevin Long, to be honest.
I like Shane Long.
I've always rated Shane, but
Shane Long has been a good workhorse, but to be honest, you need a bit more than that. And
we were linked with him not long ago, and I wanted him to come to us, but he didn't. He did.
Yeah. There were a couple of moments when he threatened him behind, but I think, like when it came to actually trying to shoot or put a good pass in, never really came off at all.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's my rant over.
Let's talk a little bit about the fixtures on the weekend, because we are getting near the end now.
Hey, we missed one international team out, mate.
Yeah, we did.
Northern Ireland.
And England.
Yeah, well, no one cares about Northern Ireland.
We're not talking about England.
No one cares about Northern Ireland or England, really.
I care about Northern Ireland.
I tell you what, Northern Ireland, they have been, of all the home nations, they have been the most impressive in this qualifying stages.
Yeah.
They've been very impressive recently.
How their manager, Michael O'Neill's not been approached by a Premier League team is beyond me. Over the last few years, he's been one of the best international managers with the team he's got to be where they are. He has done absolutely bloody amazing.
All power to Northern Ireland, Ireland now, because they've got this guy, and presumably they're in a playoff spot, and they will probably be there. You think about all the teams they could potentially face. I think the worst is probably going to be Italy, or possibly Turkey. I wouldn't like Turkey,
or possibly England, because they'd be hell on. There would be. No, trust me, no.
Yeah, it would be, but England aren't going to finish second. Come on, not from 5 points.
Have you ever seen England before?
Let's get back to reality. We don't lose in qualifiers; we lose in tournaments. That's the important thing.
True. Yeah.
So we're not gonna finish second. We're gonna finish first, and then get absolutely tonked in the World Cup.
We'll get the first knockout game and get knocked out. That's all.
Probably get some stupid group involving Italy, Uruguay, and some other rubbish team that we end up drawing against. So
DR Congo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
There'll be a lot of people there. Though.
They're unbeaten as well. They're actually unbeaten in this group. They're unbeaten in a group including Germany. What an amazing achievement that is. I mean, granted, their goal difference is half of Germany's, but still.
It's still undefeated.
Yeah, that's very good. The goal difference is ridiculous, actually. 33 for Germany, 14 for Northern Ireland, Azerbaijan -4, Czech Republic 1, Norway -8, San Marino -36.
Oh, it's close. Wasn't far off.
It was close, but it's pretty much matching Germany's. I'm pretty sure half those goals must have come against Germany.
Yeah, they must have won about like 20-odd-0 or something.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's a bloody tough group for a team like a country like Northern Ireland, to be second and doing that well.
And Norway and Czech Republic are good teams, and they've absolutely.
Well, in recent years they're not.
Did you see the score for Norway?
Norway were really close to qualifying for the Euros last year.
Yeah, but they also got tonked 6-0 by Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, who doesn't these days? Well,
That's why Northern Ireland is doing good, though, if you think about it, because every other team in there has been smashed to pieces by Germany, and they haven't really. So
Northern
They
Ireland
haven't. They
have got a
drew.
proper defence.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Do you guys think they'll actually qualify for the tournament though, through the playoffs?
It's going to be tough. I'd love them to be honest.
I've just seen Portugal are also in the playoffs, possibly as well.
Yeah, it's
That's
going to be a
gonna be
tough playoff. It depends who they get, to be honest.
Because you know the way they seed the playoffs as well, it's according to coefficient. And
Yeah,
that's basically based on your history. Although Northern Ireland did do pretty well in the last European Championships, so that could go in their favour. But I mean, they're gonna have to do well to come in the top 4, which you need to do in those playoffs amongst teams like Italy and Portugal and the Netherlands, and Sweden possibly. That's going to be really hard. So we'll have to wait and see, and possibly Wales.
I'm gonna take a quick toilet break, and I'll let G talk about Ben Woodburn's goal.
Hey, it was a worldie, absolute worldie. What do you guys think of it?
You know what? I haven't heard about it. I literally didn't even know he scored.
I haven't.
At the weekend, you didn't know Ben Woodburn scored for Wales on his debut.
No, I had no idea. Honestly, no one was talking about it. It was strange. It was like they weren't even playing.
Right, did you see it? That it was great touch. Look, takes another touch and just smashed the bottom corner. Yeah,
Ooh, I've just seen it now.
beautiful goal, mate. Yeah, he's getting overhyped like hell by the Welsh now, but
Yeah, next Gareth Bale.
yeah, he's apparently Bale's been telling Madrid to buy him for the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
But he's not even getting on our bench half the time now. But
Yeah. Well, that's kind
I've
of the
seen him
problem.
play. He's our youngest ever goal scorer for Liverpool, and yeah, he's a really exciting young talent, but he's not ready for starting Premier League games yet. Nowhere near it. But
You can loan him to us if you want.
nah, you're all right, mate. But, he's a really good player, mate. Really good. He probably teared the Championship apart, to be honest, if we put him down there. But I don't think going to the Championship will develop him that
Would
much,
he
to be honest.
be able to deal with the physicality though?
Possibly not, mate. To be honest, you tear them apart technically
Speed wise as well, he's pretty quick, isn't he?
Speed wise, yeah, speed. He'd tear them apart, but
It was a quick
Yeah.
toilet break.
Yeah, I've got downstairs toilet, so
Wash your hands.
he took the mic with him, didn't you know?
Ah, my Danny.
Oh god.
Oh man.
We wanted Ryan Kent from Liverpool on loan, and he turfed us and went to a German team.
Yeah,
Who?
he's gone over to Germany. Ryan Kent,
Strange,
the winger. That's because of Klopp, mate. Klopp sent over a few of them over to Germany this season for loans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be good for Kent, to be honest, because he'll be playing regular football in the Bundesliga. Tough teams against him. It'll improve him a hell of a lot, I reckon, because that was something he's missing, is game time and physical. Because you don't get that. Like I do the under-23s and the 18s, and it's nowhere near as physical as playing in the first team. Nowhere near by a long shot. So to go over there and be playing regular football at the top level, it's going to do him the world of good. And I could see him next season probably pushing for a starting spot in our team. At least pushing into
He does
the
look
bench.
pretty good. Like when we got linked with him, I had a little look at him on the net, and he looks pretty decent. Like.
Yes, he was probably one of our better players in the 23s last year.
Yeah.
Probably up there. It was him and Woodburn were probably the 2 outstanding players in our 23s.
Yeah.
Kent's a little bit old. Like, I think he's 20 now. 20. Yeah, but
Who-
he's going to be good.
Can I put a question out then? Bit of a
Yeah,
general,
go
a couple of general questions. I think we should do because we're getting towards the end possibly.
Yeah.
Firstly, who's going to win the World Cup?
Of course, it's DR Congo.
Well, it's not, I know it's not going to be England. I know
It's not going to be England. I think if we say it's going to be a European team, although I've got to say Brazil are looking really really good at the moment.
Yeah, but
I'd say Germany.
South American teams aren't that good at the minute. Problem.
No, if it's been a European winning team for a lot of the last few World Cups,
especially in Europe.
I think I'd
Europe,
pick
a lot of European teams.
I'd probably pick. I mean, it sounds really weird to say after they just drew to Luxembourg.
I was about to say the same as well, mate.
I would probably say France, although Spain look very, very impressive at the moment as well.
Spain do,
but France will have another year of experience behind them before. That's a very young team at the moment. So I think another year of experience will really do them well. I think they could
still have a few experienced players in the French team.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Koscielny was really being given the runaround by the Luxembourg players.
That's
that was
he's
scary
old
to see
and
as an
small.
Arsenal fan.
Like, he should have been used to that last week when Liverpool gave him.
Well, yeah, yeah. Funnily enough, he was probably one of our better players.
He was, mate. He was.
God.
No, Czech was your best player, and he got 4 goals past him.
Yeah.
I'd say Germany's going to win the World Cup because they've got such a good team. They've got such. I wouldn't like to be the German manager because it would be so hard to pick that team to go to the World Cup. Really would.
I'd love to be the German manager because of all them. You know, you can pick 22 players. You got them brilliant players, and you go, right, you're my starting 11 out there. Go and win the World Cup, and they'll do it.
I think it's mad though when you see Germany play like friendlies and they just don't even really try, but they win still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put out my second 11, they're still winning 3 or 4-0.
Yeah.
That's what England do, but they just don't win.
Yeah, it's true.
Did you see Özil's tackle?
No, I haven't.
He actually made a tackle, like an actual tackle. Like
Wait,
he ran back.
Özil made. Wait. Özil ran?
Yeah, I know. He ran back. He'd lost the ball. He ran back somewhere in the middle of their own half, and then managed to get around the guy pretty much from behind him and tackle him.
Same
Well,
as
every
Liverpool
single
criticised
Arsenal fan.
Well, Arsenal win the Premier League now.
Yeah, quite. Yeah. Now we've got this.
He sure it was Özil and was it a stunt double or something?
Well, that's yet to be confirmed. I mean, from my view, it looked like him, but cloning is very good these days. Was
you watching FIFA?
Most Arsenal fans probably thought they were when they were saying that, but that was pretty amazing. Gotta say.
I don't believe, until I see it, I don't believe it.
Just search Özil tackle Germany or something on YouTube. You'll find
Search
it.
Özil tackle and you'll find it.
Obviously,
I'm worried about what I'll be seeing if I put in Özil's tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't do it on Google and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
no, don't
just
do
on
that.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Who will be the best performing home nation in this
Not
tournament?
England.
Not England.
I think it's going to just be England in there, mate. So be England.
What? You don't think anyone else will qualify? Wow.
No, there's Northern Ireland will probably get Portugal, the bloody playoffs, and get knocked out. Scotland, I don't think will make the playoffs. Wales probably won't make the playoffs.
I think Wales could make the playoffs, and I think they are a team who could definitely, if they were drawn against a big team, they could win. I think they're good enough at the back to be able to do that. They proved that at the Euros last year.
I've still got a doubt that they'll just won't make the playoffs. I think they'll mess up somehow.
I think Wales and England will.
Ray has confirmed this for me, by the way. If you search Özil tackle Germany, it's the only one there.
Yeah, I knew it would be. I knew it would.
So I was right. Thank you very much.
His one and only tackle in his whole career.
Yeah. It's a Germany career, let's be fair.
He's come on, he's never done it for Arsenal.
No, he hasn't. Yeah, which is why I'm
Never does
so
anything.
surprised. Like, what? He's got this in his locker. But yeah,
Why
I do
haven't we
think.
seen this?
I think England will probably end up doing the best, although that's not really saying a lot. 'Cause it may end up being in the group stage, and no one else is there.
Or
and then
getting to a knockout and no one else does.
But really though, like in all seriousness though, you look at England's team compared to all the other ones, and you think, yeah, they should. They should
do.
Definitely.
That have got different problems other than their ability.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We've got the players, we've got the ability. We just don't play as a team.
They just haven't got the. They just don't seem to care.
The problem.
Yeah.
Oh no, they didn't. No, they care. No, you can't label them with that stick. I think that's for a lot of those guys. It's not like back when we had this golden generation of Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, and all those guys. Where and Beckham, where you could very easily label them as like, well, these guys are at the top of their game in their clubs, and they're playing in the Champions League, so clearly to them, like, there are bigger prizes than winning a World Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with these guys, most of them are playing at clubs where they may challenge to win things, but they're not favourites to win the Champions League at all, nowhere near.
Yeah.
They're barely favourites to win. Most of them are barely favourites to win the Premier League. So, like, I think it's definitely, you can't say they don't care. What I do think is when they're put under pressure, we saw this against Slovakia. They really struggled for a very long time, and it took them a long time before they could take control of the game. I thought Dyer had a very, very good game actually, and in the end, win pretty comfortably. But whether they can do that against better opposition than they've faced in this tournament so far, I have my doubts. I
think that they're just so boring to watch. They just don't. They just pass.
We're boring against Malta.
They just pass along the line all the time, and they just never go forward. Just think, go, someone just step up.
I don't mind
that
as long as it ends up in something. But the problem is, I think a lot of the time they come up against opposition who do stop that something from happening for a very long time.
Do you think that when we go to the World Cup, Joe Hart will be #1?
No.
I hope not.
That's a good 12 months away. He's got enough time to sort out what's wrong in his brain and figure out that, hey, that was not the right decision to play Joe Hart. He's been playing Butland.
Well, he's the best goalkeeper we've got, apparently. So.
Or Pickford.
Again, sorting out his own brain will definitely help out in the next 12 months. So, that should be fine.
Right, I think we'll finish it on, for me, for everyone probably, I would say that the biggest game in the Premier League has got to be the Man City Liverpool game this weekend.
Oh yeah.
12:30 kick-off on the Saturday, obviously, at City. I think we'll go around, all of us, to end it off and give a score prediction.
Shall we do a score prediction for well,
we're not going to do Arsenal because we've done Arsenal all. It's not Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah.
Even though somebody's trying to make it.
Yeah. What do you reckon, boys?
Should we do the TV games? So you've got like Man City, Liverpool, Stoke, Man United. Then I think Huddersfield are in there, which is kind of why I suggested it.
If you want.
Burnley, Palace, Swansea, Newcastle.
We'll do Saturday's games. So you get to do Arsenal.
Okay. Oh, well, I don't want to do Arsenal though.
Doesn't want to tell you that they're going to get beat.
Yeah. Right, so starting off with City and Liverpool. What do you reckon?
2-1 Liverpool. Mane with 2.
I'll see 3-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Mike?
2 what? 2-1?
2-2.
2-2. I'm going to go 4-3 City.
Well, you're out my chat. See you later.
7 goals. That'll be a good game.
It's going to be a high-scoring game, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, 2-1's high enough. Thanks.
Neither of them can defend. So, and both of them are brilliant going forward. So there's only going to be one thing that happens: massive goal fest. No wonder Sky picked it for Saturday morning.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. I don't know. I don't trust City considering what they were like against. Did very well against Bournemouth. Yeah, I'll say 2-1.
To Liverpool.
Yeah, to Pool. Yeah.
Good lad.
Right.
Ray's saying that.
Come on then.
What? Drinkwater shall score. Drinkwater isn't playing.
Drinkwater shall score.
Anyway, carry on.
Well,
Sorry, that's it.
Well, that guy's definitely not drinking water, is he?
No. He says 2-1 Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Ah, well, okay, he's back on par. It's good.
Right,
Yeah.
Arsenal, Bournemouth.
1-1.
Oh.
Realistically, I'd say Arsenal 2-0. But I'm not holding my breath.
I'll see Arsenal 1-0.
I'm gonna go for another draw, please.
Please.
I just felt like I was on countdown for a second.
No, I think
will
Arsenal 1-0 with a really, really late goal from Giroud.
Oh, typical, yeah.
Probably.
Coming off the bench.
Yeah.
I will say this though.
It's not going to be a fun game to watch. It's a good job it's not on TV.
I will say this though. If Bournemouth win, Arsenal definitely need to start asking questions. I know they're already doing it, but if they lose,
if they lose, nothing changes.
Nah.
Really. You think about it.
Finger out signs will still be there.
Yep,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not like they're not being criticised so far.
Yeah.
Nah. Been there since the start of the season.
It's been there
Don't
since
get me
last season.
started on your tag team board.
Right, Brighton and West Brom.
0-0.
I'm going 2-1 to West Brom.
I'll see.
West,
Come on then, Mike. Come on.
the West Brom 2-0.
I'll see West Brom 1-0.
I was going to 1-0. 1-0 West Brom. I can't have 3 draws.
Yeah.
I'd say 0-0, but if Tim Krul's in goal, 2-0 West Brom.
Oh, if that's the case, I'd see 5-0. No, I'm only joking. Right, Everton, Tottenham.
Oh.
5-0 Everton.
Typical unit.
It's September now, remember.
It's at Everton as well, so.
Yeah, it's at Everton.
2-1
2-1 Spurs.
Yep, I'm with Jay on that one.
Joe?
It's not at Wembley, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I hate the fact they play at Wembley, but let's ignore that. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Everton.
I'm gonna go 2-2. Draw. Right, Leicester, Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
Were they playing again?
Leicester, Chelsea.
3-1. I'd say 2-1 Chelsea. I think Leicester will give them a game.
I think 2-1 Leicester.
Mm.
It's not biased at all, but I do think Leicester are very, very good at counter-attacking, and against these big teams, it's going to work really well.
Yeah. Joe?
I'm going to go for a bit of a goal fest-ish. 3-2 Chelsea.
I'll go 4-1 Chelsea. I think they'll smash them. Southampton, Watford.
1-1.
I'd say 2-0 Watford for me.
I'll see 0-0.
Well,
Won't be high scored on it all.
A hard one because both teams have played okay so far.
Okay, but not great.
Yeah.
Well, apart from Watford,
I think 1-1.
3-3
If one game's a nailed on draw, game's a nailed. That'll be 1.
I'm also going to go 1-1 with this one.
Yeah. And the last one, Stoke, Man United, the evening kickoff.
I'd love a Stoke win, but I'm saying 2-0 United.
If I go for United win, but I'd say 3-0 United.
I think Stoke barely beat Arsenal, and they're not very good. So, no, I don't think they've got much of a chance against Man United. United.
And United, what was it, 10 goals in 3 games?
Yeah.
I'll see 2-1 United.
I'm also gonna. Yeah, I'll go 2-1 as well. 2-1.
Right, well that's everything.
Wow, Ray's predictions are pretty bold.
Oh, and let's hear your areas before we end it.
So he wanted 2-1 to Liverpool for the first game. Chelsea win 2-0. 3-1 Tottenham. 2-2 Arsenal Bournemouth. 3-2 Watford. 1-1 Brighton West Brom. 3-2. Oh, okay, right. So he first wrote down 3-2 Stoke, and then his next line is, I mean 3-2 for United. so clearly he mistyped, and he didn't think that Stoke would beat Man United 3-2. Right, thanks for saving that one.
Right, well I think that's it, boys. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Tonight. I always say today. I don't know why, it's night time. But make sure to check everyone's channels out. They are all in the description, every single one of them. And we will be back next Tuesday, where hopefully we will have Matty in as well as everybody else.
I won't be here.
Yeah,
I'm away for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I've got games.
G's busy with work, doing football for all of us.
We've got Premier League to talk about and Championship. Yay, more internationals. Go away.
Yeah, the nationals are gone.
I'll talk to you, Anthony, on Saturday after Bolton beat you. Hey, I'll be there, mate. I'm doing the stats.
But if anyone's interested
Yeah.
in joining the podcast next week as a guest, then you're more than welcome to do so. Make sure that you are 16 years plus, because that's the only thing that I do. Anything else doesn't matter, whether you're in another country, as long as you can get on at the same time as us. Anything like that, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're 16 plus, and that's I just want to keep it like adult kind of orientated. That's all it is.
Adult orientated. Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't want like little kids coming in.
That's exactly why we need 16 plus.
Yeah.
Stop thinking about Ozil's tackle, man.
But yeah, 16 plus, that's all I ask it. I'm not really bothered about anything else, whether you're from a different country or whatever. You do need Discord to do this. It is free. So as long as you can get Discord on whatever device, you can use it on mobile device as well, so it's all good. But as long as you can get on Discord at around between 10 PM and I would say 10:30 UK time, then it's all good. But I would like to thank everybody who has come in again, because it wouldn't happen if people weren't in, obviously. It would just be me sitting talking to myself, and I'd do enough of that normal without doing it on YouTube as well. So it just would be weird. But hopefully all of us get wins on the weekend, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about in the next one, where we will obviously be covering the league again. Obviously the internationals are gone, thank God, until next month. So we'll be talking about our own clubs probably, and maybe there'll be some big stories to talk about. There has been a very big story going on in football which I haven't touched on, and that is the whole Rooney kind of thing. But that's
not a big story.
I don't want to do it. Is a big story in terms of media, but it's not football, so that's why I haven't touched it. If anybody who's wondering why we haven't talked about that, that is why. It's not football. It is obviously his private life, and it's got nothing to do with football, and I'm not going to be like the media and grab a hold of all that bullshit, so that's why I haven't done it. But I'd like to thank everybody who has joined me, and obviously the lads, and if you have enjoyed this, then please hit that like button. Also subscribe, as well as check out everybody else and subscribe to them as well. And until next week, I'll catch us later.
Wow.
See you guys.
See you later, guys.
See you later.